Very interested. It's a big money fight. It just depends how much Eddie wants to pay me. I know that Leewood wants to fight in the city ground, but I want to fight in my city ground. I have to go through Saturday night first and foremost.
Charlotte Daly with Mel Sport Boxing here. I'm joined by Joe Cordina. How are you, Joe?
I'm good, thank you.
We're back in Monaco 4 years after your first fight in Monaco. How does it feel to be headlining the event?
Yeah, it's great. It's everything you want to do. I seen a podcast with Billy Joe Saunders the other day on Simon Jordan's podcast. I know he's not a fan favourite of Matchroom, but he was basically saying that the reason why he didn't get nervous or for that fight or that occasion is because they don't get bigger than that. It's everything you've wanted to be involved in, and this is the same for me. I've always wanted to be involved in big fights, world title fights, and headlining, and what better to do it in Monte Carlo? It's a great city, a great country. In Monaco, it's lovely. It's all the luxury things in life that you want, and it gives me a little bit of motivation also.
And it makes a bit of a change to Cardiff, where you last fought. Obviously, you had your screaming fans for you last time round. I'm sure there'll be plenty in attendance again on Saturday night. But it is a small venue. There's only about 300 people going. What is it like kind of fighting in that atmosphere?
Yeah, it's different. But last time I came here, it was a last minute thing for me. So I think we only had about 8 people there. But it was my mum, my dad, my sister, my wife, and a couple of my cousins. So I think this time we got about 30 odd people coming, plus 100, maybe 100 all in all, that have booked flights and accommodation, and a lot of them, probably 80% of them, haven't got tickets. So a lot of them will be watching in the Irish bar probably. But listen, it's the people that are coming and are going to be attending this. It's going to they're going to make it rowdy, and especially with the drinking them. They're from quite rough parts of Cardiff, and they'll show up.
They'll be bringing the atmosphere. And in terms of you now, you said before that you felt like you hadn't got out of first gear in your first 15 fights, and that it was the Rakhimov fight that kind of brought you out as such. That was a particularly tough fight, and it was a close call at the end. Do you feel like you want to make a statement now on Saturday night after that?
Yeah, of course. I wanted to make a statement in every fight, but first of all, I just don't need to get the win. I think Rakhimov, I don't think it was as close as they thought. I watch it back plenty of times, and I've had people watch it with me trying to be unbiased. And I'd give him 4 rounds. So, yeah, it is everything he threw at me, I threw back and landed him cleaner and better shots than what he was landing. A lot of it was on the gloves, but listen, like I said, he's the only fight I had to get out of first gear for. And I might have to do with this fight, but we'll soon see Saturday.
And in terms of this fight, you have the height advantage, the reach advantage, even the knockout power. Is that what you're going to be looking for, getting him out of there early?
Not so much. We've put a game plan together and what we've been working on, and I'm going to stick to that. What Tony tells me to do, I'll be doing, and yeah, we go from there. But if the knockout's there. I'd never ever look for it. It was the same with Ogawa. It was a shot we worked on hours and hours and hours in the gym, and when I let it go, it landed. So yeah, I just listen and take everything Tony says to me in, and try and produce what we've been working on in the gym in the ring.
And in terms of Vazquez, his last 4 fights he's won on points. Since that Ford loss, he's kind of come back and done a job on points. How do you feel about that, and the fact that if it does go the distance, that he's kind of now got a lot of experience under his belt of winning on points?
Yeah, well, so have I. And I've been 12 rounds. He hasn't been 12 rounds yet. He's been 10. And there is a big difference in the 10 and the 12. And I'm a big fella, and them last 2 rounds, he'll have to ask himself questions. I've had to ask myself questions. I don't think you've had a fighter in there with the experience I've got, or as good as me. I know he says I've never been in with someone like him, but believe me, I've been in with plenty of people like him. I had 180 odd amateur fights and 16 years a pro. And I've come across pretty much every style, but yeah, we'll soon see on Saturday night anyway.
And Conor Benn is expected to fly in tomorrow to support you on Saturday night. How happy were you to see him return to the ring in Orlando?
Oh, it was great. Obviously, he was kept under wraps for quite a while, and only fight week it was brought out. So obviously, we all knew.
Yeah.
I was going to go over for it to do a week training over there, but I just think it would have messed my training up, traveling and then trying to get used to the time and then come back and getting used to the time. So I just think it just wasn't the right time for me. But yeah, so it's great for him to come out, and it's good to see him back in the ring. He's training like a demon back home. You got Nigel with him, and he's training just as hard as Connor. And they're always competing in the gym. They had a little body spar the other day. I think Connor tried to do him round the back, done him in the kidneys, and then Nigel went out sulking out of the gym. So. Yeah, I don't know. It's good to have Nigel over. He's good for Connor, and yeah, it's good to have him Connor back.
And I know you won't want to look past Saturday night, but there's lots of names being thrown around for you. Barry Jones is particularly interested in that Lee Wood fight. How interested are you in that?
Yeah, very interested. It's a big money fight, but it just depends how much Eddie wants to pay me. I know that Lee Wood wants to fight in the city ground, but I want to fight in my city ground. But yeah, we just have to see the figures. I have to go through Saturday night first and foremost, because if I don't, then I don't have a belt and I don't have one of them big fights.